commence with 3 Oms. So bring your hands in Pranamsana in front of your heart, prayer pose, and let's commence. So inhale for Om. Om. Relax your hands down to your knees and close down your eyes for a moment. Let's just bring our attention to the present moment. Feel our body sitting down onto the mat. Try and shut out all external distractions, any noises, and really center yourself right here, right now. We're just going to refresh ourselves with our 3-part belly breath, which is a form of pranayama or breathing practice, which really helps us to fully inflate our lungs. So just resting your hands on your belly, one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. Let's inhale and make our base hand or our lower hand on our belly expand. So breathing in, let that belly swell out. And then as you exhale, let the belly soften back in towards the spine. That's the first part of the belly breath. The next breath, breathe in through the nose. Expand the belly and then feel the air into your lower rib cage. So feel that lower part of your rib cage lift up and out. And exhale when you're ready. And the third part of the belly breath is feel your upper hand or upper chest fill up. So inhale, breathe into the lower belly, the middle, lower rib cage and the upper chest. Really feeling as though you're expanding and filling right up into your collarbones and even into your neck. So it's a very large inhalation. And inhale until you can inhale no further. And then let yourself exhale through your nose again. Now with this 3-part belly breath, we'll see if we can inhale, and then as we exhale, we're going to let the air out in the reverse. So exhale the air from the top of the lungs, and then the rib cage, and then the last thing to be exhaled is the air in the belly, so the belly softens last. So let's just try that. Inhale into the belly, ribs, upper chest. Exhale, empty out of the top, middle, and belly. So I'll let you do a couple of rounds like that. There's a little bit of an art to the 3-part belly breath. You can remove the hands off the belly and the chest if you'd like to. When we do this type of breathing, it actually shows us how little we breathe deeply in our everyday life, because it's quite an effort to really fill those lungs right up to the top. Okay, you can open your eyes or keep them closed out if you like. Now we're just going to take both our arms in the air and try and do our belly breath again. So sit tall, keep the shoulders down the back, but raise the arms in the air and see how you go with your 3-part belly breath. And again. One more. And release the arms down. The next step to that is extending the length of your inhalation and your exhalation, maybe inhaling to the count of 8, exhaling to the count of 8. And you can also increase the length of time or the pause between your your in-breath and out-breath. So that's homework. Let's all now take ourselves onto our knees. Now we can have a choice here whether we sit on our heels or thunderbolt pose, which is Vajrasana, which I'm going to do. So I'm sitting on top of my heels, or Virasana is sitting between your feet and your bottom towards the ground. So that's hero's pose. So there's just a slight difference. Hero's pose, our feet are out to the side and I'm sitting between my feet. Thunderbolt pose or Vajrasana is sitting on our heels. So I'm taking the heel option. I'm also taking an option of putting a bolster under my butt because it has less pressure on my knees. Now if you can't sit on your knees, you're welcome to either stand or go back onto your bottom. So we're just going to go into this pose and do a sitting cat-cow pose. So our cat-cow pose we know is where we curve our belly up and our shoulders over. Our version, if we're on our knees, is like this. And then our cat pose as we inhale, starting the movement, the flow of the spine down the base of the spine, and then arching our back, lifting our head for our cat pose. And then starting the flow down the base of the spine again, curling forward, tucking the head, pulling the belly in. Inhale. Cat pose. Cow pose, sorry, as we look up. Exhale, cat pose as we arch our back backwards. So just flow with your breath here. Loosening up your spine. Relaxing yourself in the process. You can shut your eyes. To sitting. We're now going into a toe squat. So I'm leaving my bolster there, but if you haven't got one and don't need one, that's fine. My knees are hip width apart and I'm tucking my toes under and then coming up onto my body's upright and then sitting back onto my toes as much as I can. So some people will be able to sit their full weight back down. Some people might still need to take some weight onto their hands. So just coming into your toe squat. While you're here, you can keep practicing your 3-part belly breath. As you're really feeling and filling the upper part of your lungs, think about lifting your heart up with all that oxygen that you're taking up into that upper chest. Two more breaths here. Bringing ourselves forward onto all fours, gently untuck those toes and rest them down towards the mat. Okay, spreading our fingers, creating a firm foundation before we go up into downward dog or Adho Mukha Savasana. Curling the toes back under again. Drawing in our belly and then taking our tailbone up into the sky. Knees can remain bent for our first part of our downward dog or right throughout it. And then you can just gently pedal the feet, starting to straighten the back of those legs. And then we'll just look forward between our hands and slowly walk our feet up towards our hands to where 1 foot distance back from the front of the mat. Inhale, chest lift, straighten the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees quite a lot. Circle the arms up around the side. Come up, arms overhead and down through heart center. Well done. Okay, coming into our chair pose, I'm going to bring my big toes together and my heels a little bit apart, but if you want to remain hip width apart with your feet, that's fine. Inhale, raise my hands above my head and sit my bottom backwards for my Uttanasana, my chair pose. Sending the tailbone down in the direction of the mat rather than out behind you. Squeezing my knees together if they are close enough. We're just going into a chair flow. So inhale before we start. Exhale, bring hands to heart center and twist around to your one side. Inhale, come up, arms above our head. Exhale, sit back in our chair, twist the other direction. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, arms up. Straighten your legs, reach up and behind a little bit if you can, and bring your hands down in front of your chest. And then release them to the side and stand in Tandasana. So feet hip width apart. We're going to go into our Surya Namaskara A, Sun Salute A. So shoulders back and down, a long spine, belly pulled in, tailbone not sticking out the back, just bring it down. Lift our hip bones up towards our rib cage. Inhale, circle the arms above our head. Exhale, swan dive down. Straight spine, hinge at the hips. Inhale, chest lift. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back. Full plank or knees to the floor, lower all the way down to the ground. Hands stay on the floor. Inhale, raise the head and chest. Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Exhale, tuck the toes, come up onto the knees, push back, downward dog. Look forward, walk the hands forward. Inhale, raise your chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead and down by the side. We'll repeat Sun Salute A. If you want to do upward facing dog and a full plank, feel free. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, chest lift. Hands to the floor, step or lightly jump back, Chaturanga, lower down. All the way to the floor, or flip the toes and come up into upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. How are you feeling? How's your shoulders feeling? How's the backs of your legs feeling? Are they tight? Walk the dog if you need to. Wiggle the hips if you need to. Come back into child's pose if you need to at any stage, where you drop your knees to the floor and sink the bottom back towards the knees. Inhale, walk the feet or lightly jump them forward. Raise the chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, circle sweep the arms up and down through heart center. Surya Namaskara B. Feet together, heels apart slightly. Sit the bottom back, chair pose, Uttanasana. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Fold forward, Uttanasana. Chest lift. Hands to the floor, step or jump back. Knees to the floor if you wish. Chaturanga Dandasana, lower to the floor. Cobra pose or upward facing dog. Downward dog. Vibdrasana A, step the right foot forward, drop the back heel, come up, warrior one, Vibdrasana A. Front knee bent, hands to floor, go through your Chaturanga Vinyasa flow. Back into downward dog, step the left foot forward by the left hand, drop the back right heel, come up, warrior one. Hands to floor. Step back, Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And downward dog. Stay in downward dog and get your breath back, or drop back into child's pose if you feel you need to at any time. Walk or gently hop the feet forward, come to the front of your mat, chest lift. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Circle sweep the arms all the way above your head and down through heart center. Okay, one more sun salute B. Let's go. Inhale, arms up, exhale, fold. Chest lift. Chaturanga. Cobra, upward facing dog. Downward dog. Warrior one, step forward. Chaturanga Dandasana, lower down. Downward dog. Step the left foot forward. Drop the right heel, come up, warrior one. Left foot back, go into your flow, down to the floor, all the way for cobra, or upward facing dog. Step back into downward dog. Catch your breath. Just raising our right leg in the air. Keep our hips level. Our left heel going towards the mat. Pushing away through our both arms equally. Bend the right knee, and then if you'd like to, open the hip up towards the ceiling. Bring that right heel as close to your bottom as you can. Flex that right foot. Really opening up the side of the body. You can look up and under your right armpit. And then drop the right hip foot back to the floor. Take the left leg in the air, three-legged dog. Hips are level for starters. Bend the left knee, heel towards the bottom, and open the hip up. And then bring that hip down, feet back into downward dog. Walk the feet up towards the hands, and let's just hang in forward fold. Inhale, chest lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose, which I forgot last time. And then come to standing, little back bend if you wish, and then hands down by your side. Good job. There's our sun salutes. Now we'll go into our warrior series. So what we're going to do is take a big step, our right leg forward, our left leg behind with our left foot at a slight angle, and then we're going to bend our front knee so that our knee's over our ankle as much as we can. Turn our hips towards the front of our mat, and then inhale our arms overhead. See if you can sink a little bit lower into this pose. Make sure your knee's not falling into the centre of the mat. You're keeping it out in line with your big and second toe. Pull those shoulders back and down. Use your deep breath here to settle into Warrior One or Virabhadrasana A. Grow tall with your arms and open out into Warrior Two. Shoulders are down our back. Gazing, drishti or gaze is over our front middle finger. Trying to line our torso up vertically, not leaning forward, not leaning backwards. Take a big breath and see if you can soften into that Warrior Two position a little bit more. Flip your right hand up, inhale, take it up over your head and let let your left hand go down your back leg, reverse warrior. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Inhale, up and over our head. And then back into warrior two with our exhale. Going to now bring our hands back into warrior one above our head. And then I want you to lean forward, rib cage towards front knee. Keep the front knee bent and take your hands out above your head for warrior three position. Some big, deep, strong breaths here for our warrior three. And then release the arms down and frame your front foot. I have a block here. I'm going to walk my left leg back in halfway, and then I'm going to lift my back leg up behind me, preparing for balancing half moon. So I have a block under my right hand. I could actually just be up on fingertips. You can start like that with both hands on the floor, or start to lift the left hand up. Either take it behind your back, lengthen out through your spine and open your left hip to the sky. From there, if you wish to take your left arm up in the air, keep both thigh muscles engaged. So flex the foot of your left leg in the air, open that hip and that chest up as much as you can. From here we're going to step that foot, if we can, straight back into warrior two position. So step it back, rest it on the ground, bring our arms into warrior two. How do we go? Inhale, flip the front hand and take it up over the head for reverse warrior. Start to straighten the front leg while you're in reverse warrior. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, come over into Trikonasana or triangle and work that right hand down, a straight front leg, a straight back leg, and left arm can go up to the ceiling. So opening up the left side of the chest here, left hip opening. You can look up at your top hand or down at the front foot. On your next inhale, come back up into reverse warrior with the straight front leg. So use your core muscles, up and over. Bring your arms back into warrior two arms without bending your front leg this time. And then turn your right foot towards the long edge of the mat. So I now have both of my toes pointing to the long edge of my mat. Bring your hands to your hips as we go into Prasarita Padottanasana, a wide leg split. So a big inhale, exhale, hinge forward at the hips, leading with the heart and the crown of the head. Take yourself over in a forward fold. Take the hands and rest them on the floor, or you can even walk them behind you between your legs if you wish. Walk your fingers back, place them on your hips and come up and out of Padottanasana, Prasarita Padottanasana. Whew, what a mouthful. Okay, working our way round to the other end of our mat. Turn your left foot to face the short edge. You may need to walk the back foot in a little bit and angle it towards the front slightly. And then let's sink our front knee so it's bent over our front ankle. Turn our hips to the left and raise our hands up for warrior one. Don't forget, if there's any poses you can't do, don't worry about it. Just go with the flow. Drop into child's pose or downward dog, or just stay in a pose that you can do. Sink a little lower if you are here. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, open into warrior two, Virdrasana B. So we should be nice and warm by now, ready to hold these poses for a little bit longer. Inhale, raise the left hand up and over the head, palm leading. Slide the right hand down towards the back leg. Reverse warrior. Really opening up, beautiful stretch through our left side body here. Make sure that front leg's still bent. And then coming back into warrior two. And then inhale up into warrior one. May need to step in slightly as we lean forward with our arms above our head, rib cage towards but not dumped on the front knee for warrior three. Lots of deep Ujjayi breaths here. Bringing our hands down to our mat, we prepare for balancing half moon. So you can either step that back foot in, but if you can lift it straight up behind you, either staying there with it held up, flexed foot, or start to open, lift the right hand off the mat. Take it behind your back, open the chest, open the right hip up to the sky, and if you like, hand up. Some people might even want to experiment with taking the left hand off the rib block or the floor. Another option with this one is to practice against a wall, so you've got somewhere to balance against. There's no problems with that. 2 more breaths in balancing half moon. And then if you can, stepping that foot back into warrior two. Woo. Inhale, left hand comes up for warrior one. Reverse warrior, sorry. Brain fade. Okay, start to straighten your front leg while you stay with reverse warrior arms. And then as we bring our arms back into warrior two, come all the way over for triangle or trikonasana. This is a side bend, not a forwards bend, so we're really opening up the right hand side of the body here. Breaths here. And then without bending that front leg, see if we can use our core strength to bring ourselves all the way up with our hands in warrior two position, and then walk our feet around ready for our wide-legged forward fold or Prasarita Padottasana. Okay, this time we're going to do our forward fold with a slightly different hand position. We're going to bring our palms of our hands and our fingers together, but we're going to do it behind our back. So depending on your flexibility, your fingers may point downwards, or you may be able to turn them up and work their way, palms joining each other up your back. My palms aren't joining. So see how you go. You might not be able to do either. You might want to just grab your fingers. So from there, we do our forward fold, hinging at the hips. Remember, leading by the heart and the crown of the head as we hinge forward. Big deep breaths here, trying to expand and open the front of our chest, not letting the chest collapse down in on each other. On your next inhale, lift your head and shoulders and body all the way up to standing. Release your hands and then heel toe your feet together. Shut down your eyes, rest your hands on your belly or at heart center, and just take a few rejuvenating breaths. Release the hands down by your side. Okay, we're going to our balancing. So we're going to go into our standing eye of the needle. So let's ground down through our right foot for starters. So feel the bones across the ball of the foot from under the big toe right out to the little toe. Rub them across the mat and then feel all the heel. Rub the heel around on the mat. Lift the toes and then settle them gently down. Make sure we're really feeling that, that foundation of our foot. Bend our right knee microscopically, just a little micro bend in the back of the knee. We don't want it locked out super tight, but we do want to engage our thigh muscle. Lift your left knee in the air and rest it on your right knee. Now if you need to be by a chair to have a fingertip or a couple of fingers to help you balance, that's fine. Okay, drop the shoulders back, down your back, raise the crown of your head, tuck the chin slightly, and try and balance here. If you'd like to add a different option to it, you can start to sit back. So using your tummy muscles to hold yourself firm, sitting lower. Hands can leave the hips and come to heart center. Cactus arms, whatever you'd like to do. Let's take our arms above our head as we raise ourselves up, straighten our right leg. Circle our arms down by our side and gracefully release our left foot to the mat. Before we do standing eye of the needle on the other side. So again, create that foundation through that left foot. Lift the kneecap, engage the thigh, engage the core muscles, and then when you're ready, lift the left knee, place the right knee, place the right ankle onto the left knee. And if you can, sit back a little bit, or a lot. Inhale, raise your arms up in the air. Straighten the left leg, hands down by your side and release the other leg. Good stuff. Okay. Let's do one more vinyasa. So coming back to the top of your mat, we're going to inhale, arms up over our head. Exhale, flow it down. Inhale, chest lift. Exhale, hands to floor. Step or jump back, chaturanga, all the way to the floor this time. Okay, placing our hands down under our shoulders, so our fingertips are about level with our shoulders. Pull our elbows in close to our chest and pull our shoulder blades down our back. Keep our feet and thighs about one mango's distance apart. And then on our inhale, we're going to raise the crown of our head and our chin wherever it feels comfortable for cobra pose. Breathe away here. Make sure we're drawing the shoulders away from our ears. Shut down your eyes if you like. Just focus on some nice deep inhales and exhales. There's no competition to be won on how high you come up, so come up to where you're comfortable. And then gradually lower yourself down. And take your arms down by your side. You can keep your forehead on the mat. I'm just turning my head so that I can speak. We're going into a half locust with our head down. So keeping your head on the floor, arms on the floor. We're just going to raise one leg in the air. So the leg we're raising in the air is engaged, it's working, the muscles are working. We're trying to keep our hips level on the floor, our hip bones. Keep our shoulders away from our ears. Mine will tuck nicely into my earlobes then. And lower that leg and then try lifting the other leg. So straight leg, so we're actually lifting, if we can, trying to lift the lower leg and the knee, part of the thigh off the mat if we can. But we're not bending our leg and just lifting our lower leg. It's at one long leg we're lifting. And lower that leg. Now you can repeat that with single legs again, or if you'd like to attempt the double leg, do so. So inhale, lift both legs. And release them down. Okay, from there we're going into bow pose. So bow pose, double legs if you know how to do it, or single legs. Arms in front of us, resting on our elbows, and then taking one arm off, we grab our foot if we can, and lift and pull lift our knee off the ground, and push back into that hand, so pushing away into that hand. So you can do a single leg or double leg, grabbing both feet and pulling, lifting our chest and our knees and pushing the tops of our feet away into our hands for full bow pose. Breathe away. If you're doing single, swap now. And then gradually release your leg or legs and relax down tune back into child's pose, which I don't think I gave too much opportunity in the actual flow. So let's spread our knees apart and take our bottom down towards our heels, and then let our torso fold forward. We can have our hands down by our ankles, or if you want extended child's pose, raise them up above your head. Oh, I could stay there for quite a long time, but we won't. Let's bring ourselves up to our knees and over onto our seat. Ready for butterfly fold. So I'm going to prop myself up a tiny bit onto my bolster here. Join the soles of my feet together. Your choice. You would like to have your feet in as close to your hips as you like, and then sit tall, fold forward, or it may feel more comfortable on your knees. It'll just give a variation of the type of stretch you get in your hips and inner thighs, and then fold forward. So find what position feels good for you. Big deep breath in, and then hinge forward, a straight spine. So we're leading with our heart, we're not just collapsing forward like we do in yin yoga. We're working our muscles to bring our heart forward here. Let's inhale, lift our heart, and unravel our legs. Just take them out in front for a moment. Our next asana is Gomukhasana. Again, you may find if you have some knee and hip issues that you may want to come up a little bit higher. Again, I'm going to go up 2 levels. But try flat on the floor. Okay, so with this one, we're actually working it so that our knees are on top of each other. So we're stacking our knees. Now your cow face pose or Gomukhasana, you can bring these legs right back here and tuck them by your hips if your body will let you do that. So see how you go. The main idea is that we're trying to keep ourselves seated evenly with our knees stacked. That's what we're aiming for. So whatever happens with these limbs here, just keep them like cow's ears to the side or tucked back behind, or maybe right out in front. We might stay like so. So I have my right knee crossed over my left. I'm now going to take my right arm up to the sky, drop the hand back to my back of my neck, and then take my left hand up and see if I can join them, like a tricep stretch. Don't worry if you can't join them. And then sit up as tall as you can. Gradually release those fingers, unravel the arms and unravel the legs. Just Just take them out in front of you in staff pose or dandasana. So I had my right knee on top of my left, so we'll do the other side. Left knee over the right. Both sides might look quite different to each other. Feel quite different to each other. So left knee on top, left arm up to the sky, drop it down and join behind. And lift the heart. Release those arms down by your side and unravel the legs. And then we're going all the way down onto our back with our knees bent towards the ceiling. Let's just hug our knees in for a moment, give them a little rock from side to side. Okay, and then drop our heels down to the floor, close to our bottom. Hands resting on the mat beside us. And we're just going to ground through our feet, push up through our legs and our bottom, and lift our hips up into a bridge pose, drawing our inner thighs towards each other. Engage those inner thighs, engage the butt muscles. If you'd like to join, clasp your hands underneath and roll the shoulders under towards each other, feel free. Big deep breaths in and really expand those lungs. Lift the hips just a little bit higher. And then slowly release those shoulders back down to the mat. Bring the soles of your feet together in butterfly again and let the knees fall out with gravity out to the mat. Arms can go up over your head for a reclined butterfly. Bring our arms back down, our knees up towards the sky. We're just going to bring our knees up to our chest again. Wriggle our hips a little bit to the right and then just let our knees fall gently over to the left, keeping our shoulders towards the mat. You can straighten the right arm out towards the side and turn the head towards the right as well if that's comfortable. If your knees don't reach all the way to the ground, you could prop them on your left arm or a block if you had one handy. Feeling that beautiful spinal twist. Gradually assist those knees back to centre. Slowly does it. Move the hips a little bit to the left. Draw the knees in and then let the knees fall over to the right. Gradually bringing your knees back to centre. Coming into happy baby, so knees down the sides of your rib cage and then heels towards the ceiling. You can grab your calves or your ankles or your feet for happy baby. You can rock from side to side, just ensuring that your tailbone's sort of trying to stay towards the mat. Another option is you could straighten your legs for a wide leg happy baby. Gradually bring your knees and feet back down onto the mat for our last asana, which is Shavasana. So extending your legs or bending them up, knees together if that's more comfortable on your lower back. Having the feet wide, relaxed, open out towards the corners of the room. Hands can rest down by your side, palms up. Fingers curled lightly, or rest them on your tummy. Lift your head up, just lengthen the back of your neck and rest it gently down again. Maybe just lift the shoulders off the mat, pushing up on the elbows and then sink them down onto the mat. Take a big deep breath in, and as you sigh out, just gently shut down your eyes. Take another big deep inhalation and gently sigh it out again, and as you sigh it out, really let the body completely sink and melt into the mat. Each breath, just let yourself soften and relax and let go. Really integrating our practice with our final few minutes of Savasana. And I will bring you back at the end of the lesson. couple of big deep breaths in. Bring your knees up to your chest and roll over onto one side. Just staying there for a couple of breaths. As you push up onto your bottom, consciously bringing up with you a sense of peace and relaxation that you can take back with you for the rest of the evening. I don't know why I said the end of the lesson. It's not a lesson, it's a practice. So thank you for joining me in this yoga practice. Let's bring our hands to heart center and finish off with one Om and 3 Shantis. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste everyone. Thank you for joining me.